So, I was able to change my life in 6 months. I went from somebody who was 19 years old as a freshman in college, studying a major that I didn't give two shits about, which was mechanical engineering, and I was deeply terrified about the future ahead. I didn't want to work just a regular 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life. Comparing that to where I am now today, I have scaled an agency to $50,000 per month. I now run a consulting business that does multi six figures per year, and I'm on a journey to grow to $100,000 per month. I live in my dream apartment in my dream location, which is Tampa Bay, Florida. And the best part of all of that stuff aside, is I can do what I want, when I want, where I want. For example, tomorrow's a Monday, and we're going to go to the beach at like 9 a.m. because nobody's going to be out there, and it's awesome. And so I was able to change my life through this process, but it took more than 6 months. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But the first 6 months paved the way for the following 3.5 years to go through this change. And that's what you guys need to understand. And this worked for me. This 4-step process worked for me. It also works for the people. It worked for the people that I live with that changed their lives too, and numerous of my students I work with. So step one is getting crystal clear on what you actually want in life. Now, this might sound cliche, but there's a good chance you actually don't even want $10,000 per month. You want what $10,000 a month can give you. And so I get on calls with people all the time for my agency, but also for my consulting business. And I talk to people. I ask them what their goals are. Where do they want to get to? What do they want their life to look like? And most people actually struggle to give me an answer. They can't clearly state exactly what they want their life to look like. And so step one is doing this. I want you to write out how much money you want to make. But after doing that, I don't want you to just stop there. I want you to ask yourself why. And I want you to write out some responses. And then once you have those, I want you to ask yourself why to that too. So for example, you might say, I want to make $10,000 per month. Why? I want to buy this, or I want to have the freedom to do this. Why? Then you have to keep answering. And I want you to get really, really deep and really, really honest with yourself on what actually motivates you, because it's different for everybody. Some people, and honestly, if you go through this, there's going to be some ugly truths that come up, but for some people, they want female attention. Some people are insecure and they want validation from the world. Some people just want freedom. Some people are narcissistic and they low-key think that they're better than other people, and so they want to make money for that reason. You have to get deep and honest with yourself, and you have to approach this without judging yourself, but you must do this because doing this is the catalyst for figuring out what actually drives you. And that is what's going to be important during the times where shit gets hard. That is step one. I want you to get crystal clear on what exactly you want and why you want the things you want. A great thing you can do during this exercise is build out a vision board. That's what I did 4 years ago, and a lot of the things that were on my first vision board I've actually done now, but I have new vision boards. And so you can get graphic around the things that you actually want in life. And this is going to make it feel more real to yourself. And you're gonna use this vision board and you're gonna look at it as often as possible. Okay, that's step one. Now step two is everything in life is just standards. The reality is, if you go out and you actually map out a vision board with everything that you could ever want, but you're fine with a watered down version of that, or you're okay, you're content in life with a slightly lesser version of that vision board, the reality is that is what's going to happen to you. You are going to get the slightly less version or the slightly watered down version of that. Now, I watch a lot of like gym content, and I'm sure you've seen people, if you've ever watched content around going to the gym, where people talk about hitting their full potential. They say, I want to be the best version of myself, or I want to hit my full potential. But the reality is that's not possible at all. To reach your full potential, you would have had to do everything absolutely perfect from day one in your life. And that's just not possible. You're not God. So the reality is we don't reach our full potential. What we do instead, though, is we fall to the level of which we are okay living. So whatever version of yourself you are fine with, that is what you will be. And so what you need to do is you need to elevate your standards of life. You need to be not willing to accept the worst version of yourself, the lesser version of yourself. And this goes for making money, but this also goes for relationships. Having high standards is very important there. This goes for even fucking something like cleaning your room. If you're fine with your room being a mess, your room will be a mess. If you're not okay with that, your room is going to be clean. And that's just an example, but it goes to show that once you figure out what you want your life to actually look like, this has to become the standard. This isn't the goal. This is the standard. This is the lowest that you're willing to accept. And once you can start to adopt that mindset, then what you're going to do is, even once you start to do well, you're not going to get comfortable in those time periods where you make a little bit of progress and you start celebrating and you get super, super excited, and then you crash and burn later, all because it wasn't a standard. Then step 3 is you need to actually believe what you want. You need to believe that you can actually do it. And one of the absolute best ways to do this, other people will tell you that you need to do manifestations and affirmations. I think a lot of that is bullshit personally. I think there's some truth to it, but what I think is a lot more important is just surrounding yourself with people that have already done it, or surrounding yourself with people that are very, very close to doing it. So one of the absolute best things that I did is join networks of other young men that were sometimes slightly behind me, sometimes further ahead of me. And having access to all these people allows you to understand that if these people are able to do it, I can too. I remember for me, the first time I saw, I met up with one of the mentors that I had at the time. He was making around $50,000 a month in his business, and that was absolutely mind-blowing to me. I don't come from a lot of money, and so seeing somebody make $50,000 a month literally was shocking. And I started talking to this guy about some business stuff, but then I started talking to him about some like real life stuff. Like we were talking about God, religion, we were talking about the gym, we were talking about some other stuff. And I realized that this guy is actually a lot like me. He's just slightly older than me. And what that did is it made me believe in myself that I could do something similar to what he has done. And so one of the best things that you can do is join networks and join communities of other people who are similar to yourself, some of which who are going to be ahead of you, and then some of which who might even be behind you as well. And start talking to these people, start building connections with these people, and start building a network of these people. What this will do, especially once you meet people who are doing better than you, this will hopefully train you into either 1, realizing that you can do it, or 2, realizing that you need to make some changes in your life to get to the next level. Either one is okay, but this is absolutely crucial. And then lastly, once you do those first 3, then step 4 is you need to ask yourself a very important question. And this question is going to be rooted based on what you actually want in your life. Let's say your goal, though, is to make $10,000 per month. The question you need to ask yourself for step 4 is not, how can I make $10,000 per month? The question is, what can I do every single day to make it unreasonable in which I cannot hit $10,000 per month? Basically, what can I do every single day to make it to where making 10K per month is easy? Hitting 10K per month is literally not, it's not impossible. Like, it has to happen. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a minimum standard of inputs. So basically what this is you're going to have a list of like 5 or 6 things. These are non-negotiables. These are things that you will do every single day, because if you do these things every single day, you will get to your goal. And then what's going to end up happening is some days, just like in life, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel unmotivated. You're going to feel lazy. You're going to feel tired. Other days, you're going to feel on top of the world. You're going to be really, really excited. On the days, though, that you are very unmotivated and you feel like shit, you are going to stick to these minimum of standards. And some days, again, you're going to feel super motivated. You're going to wake up with that 4 a.m. energy and you're going to want to do more. And so allow yourself to do it. But you need to have a minimum list of standards that you can follow. On the days where you are very, very lazy, you're tired, you're unmotivated, you're still going to do these minimums. I remember for me, when I was really starting off in sales, it was doing an hour of sales, practicing for at least an hour per day. So if I was sick, or if I was super tired, or if I was super unmotivated, and I didn't really feel like doing anything, which can happen from time to time, I was still going to do that hour. Other days where I felt on top of the world and I felt really, really good, I would do that hour and I would do some other stuff that I needed to do. You're going to get a minimum level of standards. I want you to write this down on a sheet of paper, what this is for you, depending on what you're doing and what your goals are. And you're going to do this shit every day. You're going to discipline yourself to doing it every single day. And I promise you, if you do these 4 steps and you implement it into your life, you will change your life just like I did and just like numerous of the people I know have done in 6 months. This is all it takes. So hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you got some value. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want my help, you know where to probably find it at this point. But you guys take care and have a great rest of your day. Peace.